Hey guys, Dimitri here for one of our jobs for storm roof roofing. Today we decided to show you what it takes to install asphalt shingles in 2018. In the last 10 years, roofing industry evolved a lot. There's a lot of things have changed, and we see there's a lot of outdated information on YouTube and on different websites. A lot of guys still installing roofs old school. So we want to show the way, what does it take to install good quality roof in 2018. So first thing first, guys, you always want to start with a complete tear off of existing systems. I see in a lot of parts of the country, in Canada as well, a lot of roofers simply going over the shingles. Unfortunately, it's not recommended by almost any manufacturer, and also it's illegal, it's against the code in a lot of cities. So what's happening is a lot of roofers, to save the cost for the homeowners, they're simply going over existing. The problem with that is they cannot inspect the rotted plywood underneath. They cannot see the spacing, they cannot see ventilation, they cannot see the plywood or OSB or how that roof system was built. And for those reasons, nobody is recommending that on manufacturer sides. Also, cities will not close the permits if they don't see what's underneath. In order to install good quality roofing system, you do want to completely remove it all the way to the bare decking. We highly recommend. It's pretty much the only way to do the job right. It's 100% to remove all the materials that's on the roof right now, especially if product is very old. You're talking about 20-30-year-old systems that's been there. Who knows what's underneath? You definitely want to check it all out. Second, once you remove everything, you want to make sure you inspect everything you replace, whether it's OSB or whether you're doing boards. You want to make sure there's not wide spacing. In old houses that have been built in 40s and 50s, we see a lot of homes with the really big gaps, half-inch, 5/8 gaps. That's a big problem as well, because when you install asphalt shingles and your nails will not go through the wood, it will go through those holes, and your roof will fly away with the winds because there's no nails that's in the wood pretty much. So what's happening is I see a lot of roofers actually still gonna go through and install, and then when big wind comes in, it literally can lift up because there's not enough nails in the wood. So that's different, definitely big no-no as well. So you want to redeck entire house like that. Here in Minneapolis where we work, we would say every year 5-7% of our jobs getting fully redecked. It's usually old Minneapolis and St. Paul houses. And then after that, after you figure out your decking, your spacing, if everything sounds good and looks good, and you can walk on it now, and it's all solid, now you're ready to actually install your system. The first accessories that you want to pay attention to, it's a drip edge. It's highly recommended to install drip edge on any roofing system. Doesn't matter if it's 4, 12, or like whatever pitch of the roof it is, you have to install drip edge. What it does, the water, if any water ever gets towards the end and start dripping back towards the house, it's gonna kick out of your fascia and keep the water away from your foundation, from fascia, from going to your siding and your soffits. And we see a lot of damages when people don't install drip edge. What's happening is water drips behind and start making damage to the house, to the foundation. So drip edge is a must. And then what you do is, in a lot of, especially up north, you want to install peel and stick or ice and water barrier. Here in Minneapolis, we usually go with the 2 courses, 2-3 foot sections on something like this, but it's actually not going by foot on the roof. It's actually have to clear the interior wall. And the rule up north, you have to have ice and water 2 feet behind interior wall. So 6 feet, what we have here, in most application is more than enough, so it's going to do the trick. Sometimes you have to go 3, and sometimes if it's less than 4/12 pitch, you have to do entire house with a peel and stick, also known as called ice and water barrier. And why you need that is to prevent from any potential ice damming, any uplifting winds. When water will be going for any reasons up, ice and water barrier will protect that as well. So the next very important accessory in today's asphalt roof installation is a synthetic felt paper. Back in the day it was 15 to 30 pound felt papers, and now there's over 100 brands on the market for synthetic felt paper. Really doesn't matter which one you use. What's really important is to use the same brand with your manufacturer. This is Owens scoring system, so each manufacturer has own recommendations, and each manufacturer these days wants you to use their accessories for the premium warranty. And warranty is the key for asphalt shingles, because if you want to do it right, you want to register with the manufacturer for that manufacturer to pretty much own your roof in the future. So if you're a roofing company going to go out of business, your manufacturer will come back and say, yes, you use all our accessories, you did everything right, roof failed, you have leaks, we're going to take care of you. Now, if you're going to go cheap and you're going to start substituting with the cheaper materials and just use a shingle from that brand and nothing else, your warranty will be voided almost for any manufacturers out there. So synthetic felt paper is very important. It doesn't matter which brand, but for the warranty you want to make sure you use the same brand. We highly recommend upgrade to synthetic felt paper. I don't see no reasons why not. Synthetic felt paper is actually cheaper than 15 or 13 pound old school paper, and the reason it's cheaper because the coverage is so much more. One roll of synthetic felt paper covers pretty much 10 squares these days. Back in the day it would be like 5 rolls or 5-6 rolls of a regular 15 pound paper, and you would have much more waste, you would have much more cuts. So next, guys, I want to talk about starter shingle. Back in the day, I would say 5-10 years ago, it was very common when roofers simply would take older shingle, the one maybe just came off the roof or something they already have in a truck from previous job, they would flip it around and they would put shingle on top of it. While it looked good and people think it will do the job, the problem with that is the first nail of the roof actually would be about 5 inches from the end, right in here, right? So the problem with that, when you have wind from here hitting it hard, you can damage your shingle very easily, because nothing here is actually attached. And shingles, this seal right here is supposed to be activating on the starter strip. Well, the problem is when you flip actually other shingle, this one here, this strip will not be activated because you have granules here. So when you actually use starter strip for the starters, how it's attended by manufacturer, you're gonna nail it in here, which is much closer, and then this strip here will activate with the strip right here, and you have much stronger bond at the front. And so you will have nails much closer to the end, and you will have nails still 5 inches here with a double seal pretty much 1 inch from the roof. So it's much better protection for the first course, and that's crucial because that's where wind will be will have the most power to trying to lift up the shingles from your roof. So definitely don't go cheap. I see a lot of roofers still cheating to this day, because starter shingles do cost a little bit more, but again, it goes towards that warranty. If you did not use, or your roofer doesn't use starter strip shingle and use anything else, it's pretty much going to be affected your warranty right away, and you will lose that warranty. So do not go cheap on a starter shingles. So OC has much better strips than most competitors. That's one of the features we really like about OC roofing systems. It's really wide. I believe it's the widest starter strip on the market. Other brands have much smaller and it's not as impressive. But anyway, follow your manufacturer instructions when it comes to starter strips and the rest of the accessories. So in the last piece of accessory, guys, it's actually hip and ridge shingles. So this one here is a Pro Edge. Pretty much every manufacturer has specifically designed shingles just for the peaks, and that's also very important, because I see back in the day a lot of roofers have been cutting, you know, your 3-tap shingles and shingles just from regular roofs. So back in the day, roofers were using regular shingles, just cutting them up and making them their own hip and ridge shingles. So now most manufacturers produce specialty shingles, and I still see roofers do what they've always been doing just because they know how. Again, the problem is that warranty. No matter what you do, always follow manufacturer's instructions. So if manufacturers wants you to use their hip and reach shingles and saying that that's what you have to do for the warranty, I get it. A lot of guys, and actually I've seen it many times, you can go in and chop this shingle right now and make hip and reach shingle out of that, or some other 3-tap shingles. It's doable, it can be done. It's not right. You want to do what manufacturers want you to do. If manufacturers designed special shingles, which is hip and reach, you want to install it. And I get it, sometimes we have to fight insurance company. Insurance companies, for example, don't pay extra to install hip and reach shingles. Hip and reach shingles cost more. You have $30 for regular bundle and you have $40 for hip and reach. It's more money. But to do the job right, you have to follow instructions. Insurance companies or whoever's paying for the job have to pay extra for starters for hip and reach shingles because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of extra work, but when you do it right, you're gonna have premium system, premium roofing system, premium warranty. So this is how you install shingles in 2018. A lot of things changed, a lot of things are still the same, and hope it helps. Good luck out there. Make sure you're safe. Make sure when you get on the roofs, you buckle up. We're here right now, we feel pretty safe. It's a 412 one-level house, but I highly recommend tie-down systems, especially if you're a homeowner and you're not on the roofs on an everyday basis. I highly recommend you think about safety first, because doing all of this, whether you're doing demo or you're doing carry outs and bring all materials and tools to the job sites, it can be dangerous. You don't want to hurt yourself. If you consider professionals, make sure you ask them during the interview, during the estimate process, what processes do they have as far as quality control goes, who does the job, if they follow manufacturer instructions, if they're registered warranties, because a lot of roofers, they're roofers, they know how to install shingles, but they don't know how to follow manufacturer instructions when it comes to warranties and things like that. So you want to make sure that your roofer have your best interest, not only for this year, but for 10, 15 years down the road, because your roof is not going to be there for 3 years. It's going to be there for 30 years, and you want to make sure it's going to last. And if it fails, somebody is going to pay for it, and hopefully it's not going to be you. Thanks a lot for coming, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching another stormwater proofing video. If you like our content, if you like this video, please let me know what you think in comments below. Would like to hear from you. I reply to all my comments. Hit that bell not to miss our future videos about roofing. See you next time.